EA is going to be a problem for Sasuke.
Yeah, there's some
You know,
issues though.
that's really
There's
where I'm at with that.
yeah, there's a few issues like uh the thing
Hello?
about a meat.
Let me
You hear
see.
me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if he can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I couldn't hear you guys for a minute there.
Sorry. Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I think it cut off for a minute.
Yeah. Okay, but like I was saying, it's like there is some issues with that. Like there's like first off, like there's layers to like hacks. Like you have layers of like mine hatch resistance and mine hatch potency, and then you also have like immunity, but also immunity bypassing or resistance bypassing. So there's those are some factors which would allow Sasuke to like have his genjutsu be able to affect TA because like uh just the base Sharingan is like immune to like genjutsu, which is mind hacks, and of course the MS negs it, and then of course there's the EMS, and then there's the Renagon. So
Yeah.
it's like multi-layered.
Yeah, I mean, I see that, but my thing is like, okay, so here's the deal with the Jigan Eye or whatever he has is that when it comes to mind hacks, it's stated that his ability to mind hacks you is directly dependent upon your spirit energy, if I can say that. Like your level of spirit energy will, like, in comparison to his, will determine whether he's able to mind hacks you or not. Because one of the reasons he couldn't do it on Yusuke to begin with was because his spirit energy was just that high that he couldn't do it. And he was able to do it to regular humans, right? To multiple humans as well. He was able to mind hack multiple humans, but he couldn't do it to Yusuke because of his spirit energy level. My thing is like, at the end of the day, those mind hacks abilities would be dependent on the power, if I can say that. By the end of the day, so
To an
as far as
extent. To an
he is
extent.
concerned, yeah.
Yeah, as far as he is concerned. To an extent, though, like I believe in the war, they're probably pretty relative in AP, like, but they're around the same level basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they're around the same level, then the like the layers of hacks resistance and like better mine hacks matter more. Also, Sasuke would have some good. He would, if he is comparable, he would have comparable spiritual energy because chakra is made out of spiritual.
I do want to give a
Okay.
couple thoughts on this before we sort of shift topics. Like if we are in the war arc and we're assuming like relative stats, then it would I in like the way I would think of it, right, is I would think that it would come down to Yusuke's his hacks are like, okay, well, if I'm like Sasuke's hacks, right, like his mind hacks and resistances are layered in a way that other people who are immune to genjutsu, right, or other hacks, like I'm using genjutsu as an example, right, because if you have like a Sharingan, for instance, you're supposed to be immune to like regular genjutsu, just period. And then, with
Hmm.
Mangekyo Sharingan, they're supposed to be able to bypass that immunity. And then there's these layers that keep stacking on top of that, of like immunity bypassing. So if we're assuming that, they're relative in terms of stats, then I think Sasuke's layers would be able to work on Yusuke.
And that doesn't come with any new
Well,
layer of genjutsu.
Actually, it
actually, it's
does.
the
Because it's not
yeah.
just a
But
It
before we
regular
get
is.
into
Rinnegan.
that, yeah, but before that is the EMS, which is a upgrade on the MS.
Yeah. But,
But what I'm saying is like the EMS doesn't come with a new particular sort of genjutsu with it, right? It's
well,
just the same thing that it's stronger. That's what I mean.
yeah, but that's
That's why I
basically
said
the
there's only two levels.
Well, that's the same thing that we're saying, except the thing about layers, right, is it's not necessarily a new ability. A layer can just be interpreted of immunity, right? So, for instance,
Hmm.
here's a perfect example. All of Sasuke's visual based stuff we know got amped. And we know the fact that when when things like, for instance, level of the Sharingan to a next, your precog sometimes multiplies, as a matter of fact. Like we know when Sasuke went from the 2
Yeah,
Tomoe to the 3 Tomoe, he jutsu layers would be similar to the precog steps. Um, Maybe not necessarily to the same degree, but that's sort of what we're getting at here. It's more so like when we're saying that, he gets, another, visual buff, right? That would usually be another layer.
Mhm.
Is even if you don't think that the regular Renegon is another layer, which I do, because even regular Renegon are supposed to A, be able to resist the infinite Tsukuyomi, and B, um, allow you to, well, not allow you, but it has like six paths chakra in it, right? And this six paths stuff is supposed to be like this ultra mega god energy that's just negs everything else, regular Renegon. But Sasuke's special Rinnegan, I would argue, is more similar to Kaguya's or Madara's Rinne Sharingan, because it literally, it's basically the same thing. Let's be honest, right? It has the
behind the forehead.
Okay.
yeah, sorry, yeah, the one with the third eye on his forehead, that one has a Rinne Sharingan, right? So,
Okay.
and it's basically the same
Mhm.
Yeah.
thing, like aesthetically, like good, abilities and Kaguya's and such. And Sasuke is able to use his Rinnegan to some degree, Byakugan shenanigans and Ash Bones, obviously. But as
I
far
would like to
as
bring up the fact, like the ring diluted down, basically, and sauce. Oh wait, sorry, my thing was lagging. But yeah, but Sasuke's is basically just six paths amped like Rinnegan. It has like Tomoe's just like a Sharingan, so it does kind of it required.
that it could like overpower.
Him of power at that point, right?
Um,
I'm just saying, basically, as far as hacks is concerned, right? Between the Shibaku Tensei, that's a question of power. And we can go, and I don't know, I feel like the power argument is a bit too long for now. I'd like to enter
Well, I'd
the
like to
Akatsuki thing, but
before we do that,
whatever. But yeah, say what you have to say.
I would like to say like I do think with telekinesis he could probably counter like almighty push and pull because those are basically like telekinesis, but it would be more of a stretch to just push himself all the way.
I mean, he could just resist the gravitational, he just contested with the.
He did Sasuke's he
yeah, and then
I
he
still think the telekinesis. So
the axiom that they have like to, unlike Pain and Baku Tensei against um hands with them. Nar felt confident in, like, it might have been in guide or the novel, but relative, if not, um and can just be like,
um,
well
so okay, so the way they there's demons and there is nether realm. Those are the three dimensions in there. So the
mhm,
thing about humans have spirit energy. So humans have spirit
mm,
as well. So
what is what is demon energy and what is Yoko energy?
hold on, someone in
okay,
the chat
so
asked a question. Someone in the chat said which Madara? It's going to be Edo Tensei Madara and Alive Madara from Valley of the End. Those two, we're sort of going to be talking about both of them.
demon energy. So um, I think they don't make a good description of what Yoko is, but what we do know is that Hiei has it. That's what Hiei uses, and and Hiei kind of makes this distinction. He makes this distinction from what Kurama uses. Kurama is kind of a human. It's kind of a demon possessing a human body, if I can say that. So he's Yoko energy, right? So he's using real Yoko energy, which is something nobody else really is mentioned to be using. So
Is there any like
I
is like
mean,
what is they made out of or like are they just all like different kinds of spiritual energy?
so I guess they're just different kind.
Days or anything?
That, for example, I could send any S class, A class demon that was coming through the energy has some kind of special muscle that when he shot it at Sensui, he was able to deflect it, even though that wasn't possible because S class demons are not supposed to do it. But since he's using sacred energy, it comes with that. So that's the only advantage with that. He does the same things. apart from the specifications I've given you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It would be a bit debatable if chakra isn't just spiritual. It's spiritual, mental, and physical. So at best he might be able to absorb like 1/3 of it.
The spirit energy, like what form would the energy? So it's like
Yeah,
Well,
but
it
you
would
could
it's kind
just
of
literally be
like
this.
argue.
It would hold on. It would just be the same except like thinner. So just like the same thing except slightly weaker.
Or you could just argue that
no, because my thing is
since
like the Susano needs all those components to even exist, right? So even taking one of those out would just like basically would just destroy, would just crumble the entire house, if I can say that, because it can't exist without the spirit energy, right?
mm,
Sort
that's
of.
a bit arguable.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
you could also argue that like since it is not just spiritual energy, then like would he even be able to absorb it? Then again, you could also ask like would Sasuke be able to absorb his energy because it's not just spiritual energy. It's
okay,
some
so
weird
my
variant.
take on the role that the spiritual energy in Naruto plays in pretty much every jutsu ever. It's basically this. So I think that if you remove one aspect, the jutsu should more often than not maintain what it is. Argument for the spiritual energy aspect actually not being the main component, at least not in terms of its structure, because as we know, the Susanoo, um, well, let's take a step back, right? The entire reason why people are able to make like big ninjutsu that are tangible in the first physical form
Mm-hmm.
to the chakra that they are expelling, right? Giving it a physical sort
Mm-hmm.
of body, right? So if you were to
Mm-hmm.
extract the physical component of most jutsu, um, I mean the spiritual aspect. If you take that out, they should still make it weaker because again, a third of it is missing, um, and also not be as good, right? Because if everyone in Naruto is running around with spiritual like physical, spiritual, and mental shields, and then you take out the spiritual aspect, then it's like okay, well now you're only attacking the physical and mental aspects of their shield, if that makes sense.
Idea of giving a structure is that the chakra needs to be there before you can actually give a structure to it, right? So removing the chakra, what are they giving structure to?
Well,
If I can put it that way.
yeah, I get what you're saying, but mental will be like what it contains. So if you take out the spiritual, it would still be mental energy within the physical as well. So it would still be there.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
I get what you're saying. I think it's just difficult for me to picture what, what that kind of thing would be, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
a bit weird. Edgar did find some novel scans for proving like how the chakra amps the body and how they'll be like less durable basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Kind of like
anyway,
Dragon Ball and Key. Like
Yeah, I think we should get into the main argument. We've been going on this for a while now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've been on this for like over 25 minutes.
All
oh
right.
wow, time flies.
Yeah.
All right. So I think who's going first? Do you want to go first? Should I go first?
I'll
Um,
just state what I think.
real
Like
quick, yeah. Let's state what each one of, and then we can get on to the main discussion.
okay,
All
I'll
right.
go first. Now, to be clear, we're using past EMS Madara, probably without trauma, but we could argue either or. And
Mm-hmm.
then like Edo Madara from the war versus the Akatsuki, which will be using them in their prime, the main Akatsuki, not like the random fodder no one cares about. Uh, Obitoga
So just
is there
asking,
too.
is Orochimaru going to be part of it? Sorry about that.
Orochimaru, we could talk about him,
I mean,
possibly. Like,
if not, it's still okay. I mean, either or
yeah,
works for me.
yeah, and like for Obito, we could talk about Orange Mask, but we could also bring up Renadon Obito maybe later. But most like if he's fighting with the Akatsuki, it's probably Orange Mask.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's cool.
Now for Alive Madara, no trauma. Now
Okay.
Rip him. Yeah,
I
like
guess
I
that's your
said,
halftime show.
like I said, that's gonna keep happening. He's gonna keep dying.
No problem. I mean, I mean, if he's having trouble, I can just start. Then he can come back later.
Nah, this always happens. Like, literally, maybe not literally, but like practically. Sometimes it's more often than others. There we go. He's back.
I think they have a good chance against. I don't know. It's debatable which version they have a better chance against, because against the live Madara, he's stronger and faster than other hacks they have, so they could beat him. It's just it's unlikely they beat him if he's doing if he's serious about killing them and going all out. For Edo, a lot of their hacks won't really do much, like all the poison stuff, particularly like weaker and slower. His hacks make up for it, so I just think it's very unlikely they win more times than not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who wants to go next?
All right. I'll go next. I think my position is basically able to take on Hail Beast level powers, mostly the Jinchurikis, and they have the plus their actual hexes can actually guarantee them the win in most scenarios. With Eli with have the Rinnegan, he he lacks the resistances and certain abilities Edo Tensei Madara has and the other versions have, and also and also I believe that he doesn't have enough knowledge to approach them before getting negged by any one of their abilities. As far as Edo Tensei Madara is concerned, I think it's a bit more difficult. He has more resistance to Madara, and and it'll be high diff for the Akatsuki to win. But I think with certain ability, yeah.
Okay, Geek, you're next.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna try and make this a little more detailed than Carnifex's, but less detailed than yours. He's strong in Tensei, whereas he's not as strong or fast as a live Madara. He's still stronger than the Akatsuki to the degree neg most of the Akatsuki counter because of his higher stats. So, yeah, there we go. Anyway, that's good. Let's cue this intro. Anyway, there we go. Alright. So,
F in the chat.
yeah, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, but, just ask me if I know who they are.
Like,
Cool.
let me post the stream in general.
Cool.
Let me see. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Geek's been posting more on his channel, though his scaling videos, they take more time because they take a lot of research. Then he has to do scans in there and editing.
I really like it, especially
No chakra, just
halfway. But I got the
too. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good video.
Oh, you go first.
Yeah, what you saying? I was just saying, yeah, I personally helped with at least the Kid Sasuke one. That was a fun one. We talked about that for a while, and also helped his future videos because he's doing part 1 right now.
Yeah. By the way, anyone who's watching the stream live right now or watching the recording of the stream, when I say that I talk to my researchers, this guy Carnifex, he's one of the Naruto researchers. So yeah, shout out to good old Carnifex. So, yeah. Also,
and Edgar too.
Yeah, and Edgar. Yeah, Edgar too. Let's see. But one of the things I was gonna say though is also each video I make, I try and make it progressively better. Like my Sound 4 video, I plan to have music in the background of it because in most of my videos it's just me talking with the scans. Well, I'm gonna try and have music in the background, not loud or anything stupid so you can't hear me, but just loud enough for you to hear it in the background and not just get bored while I'm talking. So
Yeah,
that should be cool.
yeah, that's nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Me, Edgar, and Geek are pretty relative in our like Naruto knowledge, and like we like discuss it a lot with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now seeing that, I mean, I could tell from the Bible. So
After that, I like watch like Seth videos or Naruto videos and stuff. I always go in the comment section, and one character text bombs on them.
Man, I'm so glad you talk to me in VC and don't just leave text bombs on everything. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I would die. Video with over 1,000 views. Dang, that debunk on the debunk. That one is the only video that I didn't see like every single comment, because after you get so many comments, YouTube like stop notifying you. And I have someone called me a Beerus downplayer or something, even though
That's
I
funny.
I said at the end of the video that Beerus is stronger than what the other guy said in his video. But anyway,
that video was actually like I was mostly shocked at people who are like you're an Eisentard because Madara lost, even though like the first person to lose like in the video was Eisen, right? I
Yeah.
yeah.
was like I was mostly laughing through the whole thing,
Yeah, I think
but
it's. I thought
Yeah,
that
David,
was.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I think it's funny when
thank you.
people see the alternate ending. An alternate ending. That's not the
I
main
know,
one.
right?
What? Like, what are you mad for? Like, what's act?
People,
Yeah, I don't know.
honestly.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck is up with them.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess.
Um,
I guess.
in
I guess G. I guess you
yeah.
can go over. Oh wait. Oh, you intro.
Okay.
Shameless plug.
I. So I'm Daddy G baby. The daddy is silent, I guess. So um, so I'm a regular debater. I make favorite characters really duke it out, and and for me it's for me it's a passion of mine to really like discuss anime in the future. Um, Hopefully I get around to that, but that's really that's really who I am, where I stand.
Ah, cool. Edgar's plot or like characters and stuff uh like I really like broke down the Star Wars movies and why the he's gotten really into narrative lately. Like he made some docs on like character analysis, like he did Joel from The Last of Us,
Yeah.
Balder from God of War, and Virgil from Devil May Cry.
Oh, send me those ones. I really like looking up character analysis videos. That's really like one of my passions because I really like studying exactly what makes
I really
characters
like.
tick. You
I
know.
disconnected when you said you
Oh,
send me
sorry.
it.
Sorry, I said I really like discussions about characters or character analysis. Um, Especially when it comes to characters I really like to know how they tick, you know. And it was one of the things because when making like the Aizen Madara stuff, I kind of went try to go into a little bit on how these two of these characters function, you know. And surprise to me, you know, for people who say these are the greatest duos in history, I feel like they are fundamentally different in what they
Yeah,
want, and it was kind of interesting because they are so similar in their in their arrogance and in the kind of way they treat the protagonist and treat each other. That like fundamentally, I think Madara wants to reject the world while Aizen wants to control it, and that's really what's going to put them at odds with each other. And so that's really one of the things I
yeah,
think about. Yeah,
yeah. It was pretty. It is pretty interesting to think about.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so I guess we let Daddy G. How do we do about this? Like, do we let Daddy? I'll just say G.
just
To hear.
just say yeah, G or Gabby. I get Gabby a lot, so yeah,
Oh yeah,
just say
Gabby.
Gabby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. G. I guess we'll just let him like explain or give us reason on why he thinks the Akatsuki win, or like give us like scale?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I can begin with that. So I basically think the Akatsuki members are. It was stated in the data. It was stated in the data book. Can knock out the three-tailed beast with one bomb. He can make Gara use all of his chakra while he still had the one tails inside him, with with his own power as well. We know Sasori is stronger than him, and we know Conan is stronger than Sasori, mostly based on the Storm Generations cutscenes, and it's debatable how canon they are. But there are some stuff I could show which those cutscenes as canon as well. Um, we also know there are people like Kisame who, even though he has his absorption axe that make him tail beast level, and we have people like Pain. Pain, even while fatigue, could hold the nine tails up to his eight tails form, which is still pretty much tail beast level at his own. And Nagato could pretty much load. I wouldn't say low diff, but mid diff KCM one Naruto and B at the same time. So that's noteworthy as well. Um, Itachi is also on the same level as well. And I don't know where Toby stands. Like I can't confidently put him at a tail beast level, but I can say, as far as power is concerned, he's at the level to contend with the other members of the Akatsuki, at least enough to be their leader, to a respectable degree. So that's where I'll put their power levels at tail beast level 9 versus the other Jinchurikis, which is like five Jinchurikis. Those five Jinchurikis were able to last against a half power Kurama and an eight tails. And I think since the Akatsuki are like, on the same level as those five tailed beasts and are more numerous, they can contend in terms of power with like say like Madara or the nine tails. In fact, based on I put the Akatsukis together as a unit to be somewhere between the eight tails and the five other tail beast levels. So yeah.
Where would you scale Madara though?
So for Mod, as far as his perfect Susanoo is concerned, I wouldn't put him above Kurama. I would say he is probably. I'll say he's a strong. I'll put him at eight tails level. I think he's as strong as the eight tailed beast. Yeah,
Okay. Can I
think,
take this first,
yeah,
Carnifex?
yeah. You can
Sure,
do.
I'm gonna get a drink.
All right. So Koski scaling to the Bijou.
We now
Um
to be we do agree they scale to and above the Bichu. That's for sure.
yeah, like we definitely do think
Okay.
that the Akatsuki members, because like you said, the guides, different things from the anime and the manga, they all point to the Akatsuki being Bijou level. That's fine.
The thing
Um,
the thing we disagree with is like their scale.
yeah,
But I'll get into that if I need to. I'll pop up.
yeah. So essentially, the main thing is like the Conan thing, I guess is fine since you said the canonicity is like debatable. Although you did say you had like some things for.
Found like the fight cutscene. I'll drop that as well. And
Yeah.
in that fight cutscene, while Conan is not damaged, neither is Sorcery. Like he just has like that basic like scruffed up, dirty look. He's
Yeah.
not.
Agree with that. Dang, the stream's spurging out. But yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty much fine with that too. Like her being above the Kazekage puppet. Now
Yeah, he
another
was just saying.
Another thing too, when you said the Biju are able to last against KCM2 Naruto, I do have a really big issue with that because Naruto wasn't trying to kill the Biju at all whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the fight between KCM2 Naruto and the Biju came directly after Naruto agreed to help the Biju. He said that he was going to extract the raw, so just Naruto has control over his new form. And if any, like another thing that would just be even better for him, that he's able to just body slam all of them because they weren't doing anything to him. He just stomped them like really bad. He like ragdolled
I
all of
mean,
them, reflected their Biju bombs, and he extracted the rods, which was his only goal. What were you saying?
the reason I'm saying like they survived mostly is because of that final clash they did with all five.
Yeah,
So that being said, the full power of the five tails beasts is roughly around the same ballpark of half of Kurama, right? Them.
There's a few issues with that. Oh, let me just butt in real quick. First off, that same Naruto before he went into his Chrome Avatar, they all shot their Biju bombs earlier, and he smacked them
Those
all
weren't
away.
max power. Those weren't max power though.
Yeah, yeah, but still, he smacked away their Biju bombs earlier without his Chrome Avatar, like just his cloak. And also, you could get more into this,
Can you show
but
me a
they
scan
were
of that
all,
part? You said without the Kurama cloak.
said without the Kurama avatar. He was in KCM 2, but he didn't have like the full, he didn't look like Kurama, if that makes sense.
yeah, he just
In the middle of turning into Kurama, like he just spawned into the form and deflected the whole thing, but he was still using all of Kurama's chakra by that time. So I mean, I
I
don't
don't know.
really, I don't
I
really
didn't
see
check.
it I don't really see that as a KCM2 form alone because that wouldn't make too much sense.
Wait, why wouldn't it
Yeah, but
make that much
that's
sense?
not the big.
Well, one because because Kurama was giving him chakra at that specific point in time, and two, even after the fact, collecting the Bijudama. So that tells me that it's not just KCM2's power. That has to be Kurama's involvement as well.
Well, here's the thing. KCM 2, like what it is literally just Naruto with Kurama's form. The Kurama avatar is just when he manifests, more like a larger volume of it externally, um, to form this like
Yeah, but when I'm
giant.
saying KCM2, I mean KCM2 with the Kurama avatar. I don't just mean KCM2 as he is. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, so that's what we're saying. Like we're specifically making the discrepancy between like regular KCM2 without the Crom avatar, right? Cuz okay,
Hmm.
the way I see it, there's technically like three forms of Naruto minus the Crom avatar one. There's regular KCM1 where he's just like has his clothes on and they glow. He has KCM 1.5 where he there. And then he has KCM.
Sorry, it cut off for a moment.
Okay, well,
You said it was at one. You said there were the KCM2. It has like the full cloak and everything.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's why it cut.
say. He was like Minato. He thought he was Minato for a second. Um, that's that, right? And then you can sort of stat in like EMS Madara with the Susanoo is like Kurama Avatar. Perfect. Actually, as a matter of fact, speaking of Susanoo, the perfect like example is like Sasuke, right? KCM2 Naruto and EMS Sasuke are like roughly equivalent. Actually, I think it was 1.5, but let's be nice to Sasuke and say it was full on KCM2 Naruto and EMS Sasuke were relative, right? And then Sasuke when he's got is that when I was saying like regular.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
you brought up like
regular.
the Susanoo and Kurama Avatar comparison.
Yeah, so we know that like regular KCM2 Naruto would be like relative to EMS Sasuke, and then with his Kurama avatar, he'd be relative to like Susanoo, EMS Sasuke, and we know that the Susanoo is definitely a pretty sizable amp, even in like its lower stages. So we know that that's a very big deal, but we do know that like that stuff that but Kurama avatar it full on transforms into Kurama and is just better
Hmm.
overall than just normal KCM2. So, like I don't
I
think it
guess.
would
I
be
guess.
from Kurama deflecting all the Biju bombs, and then when he does quote unquote transform into Kurama, just pimp slap them even harder. Because again, he's literally Naruto was holding back in Kurama Avatar mode. He like when he body slammed them. There's nothing stopping him from like shooting point blank Biju bombs into their faces or punching them really out. So we know for a fact that he's holding back heavily, heavily. Also, when he charges
I,
up his
I think it.
his Biju bomb to deflect the other Biju bombs. If I remember correctly, Naruto just sort of crapped his out, whereas the other Biju actually sat there, and like you said, they charged him up and they
I'll
were
get
at
to
full
see.
power.
I'll get to see.
Yeah, but my thing is this: is that once he got done with that Bijou bomb, if he wasn't really say Kura, that's not to say that was all Kurama's chakra, but that was all he could muster. That's all Kurama could muster at that point in time, right?
Do you remember the context for that though? Link, right? Because it was their first time being like strong. So let's analogy, right? Let's say Super Saiyan 3 Goku in his fight with Kid Buu can only stay Super Saiyan 3 for like 30 seconds. And then he was holding back in his fight against Buu, so Vegeta time in 30 seconds. Even matter that Naruto aren't at all correlated to the amount of power you're outputting, if that makes sense.
It wasn't, but my thing is Kurama ran out of chakra even after that. He didn't have chakra to give Naruto,
Can you show that?
right?
Because that I don't remember that happening neither in the anime or the manga, and I recently read that. I recently read that fight. Like,
It took me a while.
okay, let's see.
Also, if you scroll up, I posted the couch where he they show him like in the manga smacking the Biju bombs, and I'm gonna post this scene. And actually, the scene where he does the Biju bomb clash, B specifically states that he completely overpowered. He was just trying to equal it.
Yeah.
Let me get the timestamp.
It also because wasn't Obito holding back as well with those tail beasts as well. Because what I remember was that he was coming in with the intent to.
They're his past pain.
How
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
how much could he have amped them? It's not like
Well,
Obito has more chakra than the tail beast.
at that point, he does.
With what?
We'll get into that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, real quick to sort of go over, even if you want to say he doesn't have like more like raw like quantity of chakra, he should definitely have higher the help of like Guy.
Yeah. Also, it took more of his stronger attacks to do damage, like to crack his mask and like even their headbutt didn't even like phase Obito's mask.
Yeah.
But also, put
Wait,
the
excuse,
timestamp
wait,
if you want to see.
wait, what did you say? You said something about not him not.
Naruto was still KCM1, I think, though, to be fair. But yeah,
Mhm.
Naruto, like, one of the only times early on they, like, physically clashed was, like, he rammed into Obito, and they had, like, a head clash, and they
Mhm.
just stood there. Yeah, it's pretty.
Can you think you can?
Was,
That was like Bane getting the juice.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So, Geek, what were you getting again?
Let me see. Oh
Or
yeah, I
were you
was.
checking chat or something? What are you doing?
Oh yeah. I was just looking at the chat and seeing what
Okay.
someone recognized.
The Biju Bomb clash, and B specifically states, oh, he's trying to equal their power to cancel it out. So yeah, he wasn't trying to overpower their like max power.
Wait, do you know the timestamp for that? So he
Yeah,
said he wants to equal it out.
I'll get the timestamp for that. I mean, you don't have to go with that. Okay, let me see.
Yeah. I think, but overall, I don't think it changes too much of the stance because my argument was basically that the Akatsukis were overall stronger, and they were.
Yeah, that was
Well,
just
Okay,
getting
so
part.
to
I think
the
Okay, so I think this brings us back to
other Bijou, because there's a difference even with half of it.
Yeah. So
Also, of course, that the point I alluded to earlier about the Renegon amping them. I could give you an example that Nagato amped all the paths of pain, and as we know from the flashback, most of those paths of pain were fodder, like completed utter fodder, and he amped them to pain, having like island to country level uh, calcs from feats, and Naruto like being able to keep up with that basically. So
yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty sizable increase.
I mean, I guess for them because those pains were just pretty much puppets to Bijous themselves still.
Yeah,
Because
but that's
from what
the
they don't have Rinnegan, the beasts themselves don't have Rinnegans. It's mostly the Jinchurikis.
The thing about the paths of pain is they don't technically have the Rinnegan. It projects
splitting on
abilities is what he was gonna say. And another thing too, and that be to now here's another thing, right?
They control them, yeah.
Yeah, now here's another thing.
disconnect
Yeah, you disconnected, but I basically said
or like relative to the original basically,
yeah.
and like the average Jonin's like town level and pains are like country. That that's a massive camp.
Yeah, and then I added on top of that how like the Renegon rods, their entire purpose is like to stronger than the Biju, at least to a degree.
For like feats and calcs for Biju, consistently their calcs get to like island to country level, even their lowers around that times like any of the Akatsuki who scale 2 and above Biju have like lore and statements and feats for a country. So it's pretty consistent that their country. There's one count that could maybe get them to continental when they're not amped, but like of course the he could, and also like
So that's
of half
So
yeah.
maybe
scales
like Eight Tails B, like
is only like third right Hage, and there's and eight tails, but like when Killer he wasn't as suppressed as other form into his eight tails form in Cherokee. He's right
like I was two like two.
having trouble with these
So basically, what you're saying is like, okay,
disconnect.
control is a lot more stronger than the tail beast and
Yeah,
the eight tail by himself. Okay, so yeah, I get that, right?
yeah, and then
Um,
like the Bijou in the water, and like the Bijou, one shot with the Ross and Shuriken. Like there's a few other examples. That's just the first one that came to mind.
Yeah, like I have the perfect example, like Kisame, big bad Kisame, like top easily top 3 Akatsuki members.
That bad one shotted him.
I can see that. Okay, be under control of the eight tails might be stronger overall than the eight tails himself. Would you say alone, like eight tails form? So this the
Off, dense chakra is the more
Mhm.
chakra. Easy to argue that, but Shinobi to like said that the Jin found their own tail beast. Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much powerful do you think that gap is?
There is quantification.
Let me
It hurt him, but he didn't get blown up.
Because at least the whole thing with that battle. So I don't know how you'd be able to quantify that war between the chakras, right? And
Yeah.
the battle in the mind was just a subconscious way of describing what was happening inside that point.
It's not just strictly a mental battle. You can also argue it's of their like soul and like sealing and stuff, like in the pain fight. Remember that? Geek can explain better.
Yeah, hold on, give me a sec. Godzilla's in the chat. He's mad. He's steaming, bro. Hold on.
Godzilla, we did tell you before that we were gonna get. I think I told you before we were trying to discuss stuff with.
Basically, um, when Kushina stepped in and was like, or not said it, we know that that was a physical struggle, um, inside of Naruto, right? Right? Partly physical, right? So, also things like that when Naruto started chakra, we know that Naruto chakra as well, right? Specifications. if that makes
Most of the other scans for Kurama's power.
physical weight to it, right? Yeah, we see
Also, I
that.
posted the clip of the internal fight.
Oh yeah, so we see that that like Kurama does things, like he physically interacts with Naruto. Now this is in the Mindscape, sure, but I think it's concrete enough because of the thing that I said earlier. That unless you're saying that like for some reason Naruto's chakra in his own body is only like spiritual and not physical, and like same with B, but Kurama's chakra is physical and mental and spiritual and all that. Like I don't know why you
They
Naruto
were fist bumping.
you that right, and there's no real reason for, especially considering that their physical bodies are touching, that for some reason the mental and spiritual aspect of Beast chakra would go into Naruto, but not the physical aspect for some reason, or that it would just get buffed for some reason or nerfed. Like I don't see how, like I think that's kind of a leap in logic. I don't know why you.
Especially in Prime. I mean, even as Pain, they would be scaling to like the Killer Bee and like half the Ninetales. At least that's what we believe, right? Geek.
Mhm.
So where would you scale up someone like Kakuzu then? Because Kakuzu kind of he, well, I would presume he took down the two-tailed beast,
Yeah, he
and
did tank the blast point blank better than Heidan, and he is one of the stronger ones.
mhm.
Though I don't use the statement about him fighting against Hashirama, like it's a vague statement, and just said he fought him. I mean, it doesn't mean really anything since there's no indication he did anything to Hashirama. You could fight someone and they could still like beat your ass.
But
Like
I
I could
mean,
fight Mike Tyson and he'll beat me up.
but my thing is like this: there had to be an assessment, right, from these village elders before sending someone like Kakuzu to go fight Hashirama. Like they had to have known what
That's
Hashirama was capable of, right? They had
that's
at least in base, not in Sage mode. At least in base, they had to have known.
Well,
hold on. That's not what
even
happened. He went to go steal information. His job wasn't to fight Hashirama.
No, he said he went to assassinate. He was sent to assassinate Hashirama.
Can you
we
show
I
have
that?
to
think.
find those
Let me
things
see.
then.
Yeah, can you
But
show
Mhm.
that?
even if that is the point, them having knowledge on his actual power. I mean, no one was around when Madara and Hashirama fights because if they were around, they'd get vaporized.
Yeah.
And we see this later on that pretty much barely anyone knows how strong Madara was actually. Like even Nonoki, who fought Madara, was surprised when he just whipped out the perfect Susanoo and one-shot him effortlessly.
Yeah, also another thing as well is that if you don't have to be someone's level to assassinate them, right? Say let's see who's someone. Say you get tasked to assassin no, say yeah, let's say you get tasked to assassinate Mike Tyson and Conor McGregor. Let's say they share a mansion or something cuz they're friends or something, I don't know, in this hypothetical, right? And you're tasked to go assassinate them. Well, all assassination really is you just have to kill them. It doesn't necessitate you fight them. Like you can like as a matter of fact, that's why ninjas were a thing, right? Like even like in real life. Okay.
That's kind of
Okay,
why I read it.
Okay. Yeah, they're not like
okay.
one of those hood kids that's just gonna be like, yeah, catch my fade, bro. Like that's not very
Oh,
ninja
I need to
like.
find Edgar's scans about chakra from the novel because they do like have to like activate their chakra to like fully amp their body. It's kind of like key in that sense. Like chakra does amp their stats. So if you like you assassinate someone off guard, they're most likely weaker and less durable. So you could kill someone stronger. And plus, again, there's the question is, do they actually know how strong he is? Because the only one who knows how strong Hashirama was is his brother and Madara. And again, no one's near that fight with Madara because everyone would die.
Yeah, exactly.
That's lore. But the lore of Madara and Hashirama,
What
it
lore?
had to be have been their battle, right? It had to have been readily known that it happened, right?
Um
Because remember like Hashirama wasn't just known for for his battle with Madara. In he wasn't just known for the final battle with Madara. He was known even before that. He was the captain of the Senjutsu clan prior to even making the Leaf Village, right?
Here, let me ask
So
you a question.
even at that stage, that's what I'm saying. Like even at that stage, even at just base Hashirama level, they should have had at least a good amount of knowledge to know what he was capable of.
Here, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Mike
Yeah,
Tyson before, like today?
obviously, yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
How many pounds of force do you think Mike Tyson hits with? Like, do you know?
I can't give you a number, but I assume it's one of the hardest punches out there right now.
Right. So, if you were in the world of Naruto, and it's basically the same thing with Hashirama and Mike Tyson. I think it's a good example. Mike Tyson was the best boxer of his era. Hashirama was the best fighter of his era, right? So it's like, okay, everyone knows this guy.
All the other nations beat you, right? It's like,
Okay, they might not have had the best idea of what the Hokage could do. I think adding on top of that, he had enough power to which he wasn't able to just die instantly, like any fodder, right?
Drive this point
scale, because we had some only
At least in my view, as far as chakra reserve. This is a point.
from Edo that alive stronger, right? And Hashirama Madara should be because he fought him. Let's see. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, Kabuto's limited chakra and are like prime condition or whatever. Whereas when Hiruzen got brought back with Edo Tensei,
Naruto was with the white hair and he's crippled, and as when their hairs was what abilities they have.
yeah, like he literally. Also, not to mention that Edo Tensei have ran out of chakra before. Case in point.
One last, Hiruzen. One last point before we let you.
Improved on your body directly on the Shinobi Alliance. That Rinnegan shortly after my death. So he's improved your body. Not only do you have the power, not only do you have powers of the Rinnegan now, or basically more access to the power of the Rinnegan now. You also have the Hashirama cells as well, which quote unquote greater affinity for. He also had Senjutsu on his side, Senju chakra on his side. So those when he became alive, he still had with him, still with those Rinnegan amps that he had at the end. So really, he couldn't have been the same as he was alive because he was doing things that he himself said he wasn't able to do when he was alive.
Also, by the way, right, and a bunch of these other things which are strict.
Yeah, but my thing.
Well, like it's hard to quantify. We would at least say it's comparable to the MS, which is several times, which would mean 3 likely. And then like the Hashirama cells, that's even harder to quantify how strong that actually makes you because it's not actual. He stated possible contradictions. Hashirama cells.
He was like returning to alive. You did sort of mention like, yeah, he had stage mode and this and that. If anything, all that would do is gone first, and then
his performance strength because
G said that he got the Rinnegan and then said it. So if we're going off of that,
Which part are you?
Nerfed initially.
Yeah. So
because he didn't have his Sharingan.
Yeah. So all of these like amps, that Madara had after he got, heck, even just as an Edo, right? If you say like, wow, he got so much stronger. Like I was getting at earlier, it's completely false because he still had the Senju cells, with him when he returned back to life with the Rinne 10. Quantify like the difference because it's already pretty weird to like quantify Rinnegan amps in the first place. But then you say, well, it's a fake. It can't even summon the Ghetto statue, and it's like, well, how much of an amp is it really then? At that point. And then at his former counterpart, because Madara, when he's in Edo, is clearly weaker than when he gets brought EMS. He in base destroys Edo Hashirama and then
Who
steals
had
his
sage
sage
mode.
mode. Yeah, yeah, he's killed really be retarded because he obviously didn't, right? We see the flashbacks of when the Rinnegan awakens, when, Madara bit off a piece of like, and
You need to know the hand signs in order to.
um okay, can you show
You,
that?
you did you get it? Did
Yeah,
you get what I
I
said?
understand what you're saying. I think you're mistaken.
Where? Which
I'm
part?
trying to find the scene right now.
Where you said
Because and the Rinnegan is that he made him. I think that's fine.
that now. Do you think he scales
I
half
mean,
of it?
same ballpark as half the.
Like it's linear, like
I mean,
stronger than
since it's
you punch someone in the face and they go flying, or maybe their teeth fall out or something. I don't know. You think it is to pin someone where they're clean fashion, where you're not struggling, right? You're doing, like I said, you Edo Madara, he actually fought, or I think it was Edo.
they say he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Madara wasn't paying attention to Guy. His attention was focused somewhere else. That's like if say me and Carnifex are like fighting or something, right? Say me and him are swapping mad hands, and my little brother comes up and like flying kicks me in the back. Like it's not this. It's not so.
Mm-hmm.
It's even though I am paying attention, but I'm not paying attention to him, right? I'm paying attention to something else. Um, so yeah, that was definitely more of an off guard feat. Madara wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah.
So Lion Tail's not like whenever night rather, because it is night.
Thinking of it, hit around by the five Kages, it's like it's very difficult to see that. Just
um,
because he restrained him with a dragon that absorbs chakra, it's kind of iffy.
well, I already
With a good dragon, it
he
iffy.
got
And
him pinned.
even
I don't know. Have you ever wrestled? Right. You would know.
mhm.
Also know how to grapple. That's not a significant degree. Like yeah. So he tried to get unpinned before the absorption started happening, but it just didn't work. He was too weak. So yeah, before cuz in wrestling, if I remember the now this might be a little bit off.
Okay, you can say you can pin necessarily say you're as strong as him as that at that point, even though you did get him in an armbar, right?
Um
You,
Hold on. If he's stronger than you, why would you have armbar
oh,
and just try to that's like saying that if me and you were like fighting to the death, right? And I say to you,
mm.
"Yeah, I'm going to get you in an armbar and I'm going to break your arm." And there's nothing you're out like being absorbed instantly. No, he pinned him for a solid second. So that's like me getting you in an armbar and you stay there for a second with your arm about to get broken for a solid second. Like we paused at this point. And, well, I did. You're still straining to get out of it. That for some reason you're gonna get stronger in 2 seconds to get out of the armbar with brute strength. I don't think that makes sense. If anything,
I
all
mean,
that
it's not it's
means
not it's not so much that it's not so much that I'm saying like okay, that he wouldn't get that he would allow himself to get an armbar in this position. My thing is like okay, some in this scenario, the strong guy is in the armbar with the little guy, right? We could discuss about how he got there, but that doesn't really matter. My thing is like he you one could argue he had the strength to break out, but because even though he pinned him out for that solid second, him even him straining to just get out, the fact that he can get out in 1 second or less, right? Still shows that he's supposedly stronger than the dude. You could say oh they're relative, but he still is stronger,
well, hold on.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you can't make the argument be after when the guy's sucking his energy now that he's stronger because now he's no longer a game of power anymore,
Yeah, I know that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying that because Madara was strong enough to get him pinned in the first place, right? And to keep him pinned for a second, right? That's two sort of subsets, right? A, overpowering him, right? Like for instance, like back to using to be strong enough to overpower their will to not be slammed into the floor, right? Right. So you have to physically overpower them first of all to do that, and then second of all to keep them there, to keep the position you just made, right? So it's two sort of things: one, creating a position, and two, keeping a position before you can. Okay, so I don't know, like you since you mentioned an armbar, I'm assuming you know at least a little bit about jiu-jitsu. Have you ever heard the
Mhm.
term position before submission?
Yeah.
Okay, so what that means is you need to A, get a position, B, keep the submission and stay in a way where you know you're going to keep the position, and then 3, go for the submission after you know you're in a place where someone's not going to just reverse you, you know, midway while you're pulling off the submission. It's basically that in this scenario. I guess if you want to use armbar as like a sub point on that, it's like, okay, well, you're getting the takedown, you're securing the takedown, and then you're doing the armbar, okay? And in this analogy, the armbar would be like the absorption of the chakra, the pin would be, well, the pin, and the takedown would be like, you know, the securing of the grab, right? Um, so Madara, right? He grabbed Naruto basically, slammed him on the ground. He grabbed him and slammed him, right? And then
Mhm.
he pinned him, right? So those are the two things. So he got he made his position, which is him slamming him on the ground. He
Mhm.
secured his position, which is him pinning him, and then he went for his submission, right? So he secured his position before he went for the submission. That's basically this, right? And then
Mhm.
if Naruto was stronger than Madara, then he should have A, not let Madara get the position, B, not let Madara secure the submission, so Madara would have had zero chance to get the submission. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense in that analogy. But the contention would be okay, but because no, because I'm not because at this point in time is like whether because he pinned him down that makes him stronger because he held him down for a second. Because I don't believe that that can be used in that way. Because then again, we can't never know because he could have broken out of it because he could have broken out of it if not for the absorption ability.
Let me ask you a
And we
question.
can't really know that.
Let me
We
ask you a
can't really
question.
know that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, if I. Oh, wait, have you ever seen the UFC? Like, at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Have you ever seen, in a fight where someone gets a chokehold on someone and they squeeze, and then
Okay,
after.
okay.
And then after
Choco.
a while,
Like a sleeper hold, right?
yeah, any chokehold. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just any
Okay.
chokehold you want, right? And they squeeze with all their might, right? And after a few seconds, they get tired and they let go. And then, you know, they get beat up or something afterward. Or even if they don't get beat up, they have to do something else so that they won't get beat up, right? Maybe they'll stop trying to grapple and they'll go for striking or something. Um,
Mhm.
Now, the reason for that is because submissions, more often than not, at least in the UFC, in, you know, context where striking is involved, or heck, even in some cases in like strictly grappling, depends on the context, right? Um, you if you squeeze for too long, you're gonna get tired. So you saying like, well, if they would have held on for longer, you know, Naruto might have been stronger, and it's like, well, would Naruto have just been stronger, or would Madara have just ran out of stamina? Like, I don't think that's a fair, you know, thing to say, because again, the longer you squeeze, the more out of gas you get, and then the more of a chance your opponent has to make a comeback, if that makes sense.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense, but my point is the idea of the absorption thing, because the absorption thing kind of takes out the idea of power at that point. Because my thing is like we can't truly know whether at that point Madara was stronger, he just had the absorption ability to just help him restrain him at that
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Because yes, I agree, he held him down for that 1 second, and even after that 1 second, we don't know whether Naruto could have broken out.
Okay.
You
Why does
know,
after that 1 second matter? Why does after that second matter?
because after that 1 second, either Naruto could have gotten back his
Okay.
bearings, or or basically either Naruto could have pushed him, could have broken the grip.
Okay.
Sometimes it takes more than 1 second for people to break out from a grip, so it's not. So my thing is like the idea that Madras was stronger than Naruto in that scene is not very well solidified
Okay. So do you
with
think they're
that
at least
particular
relative?
thing.
Do you think they're at least relative?
Yes, I think I think yes, like I said before, I think the Madara themselves is relative or is in the same ballpark as half of the Nine Tails power. That's why I believe.
Sure. All right. Um. So what do you think is stronger, the Wood Dragon or the Susanoo?
I mean, I would go with the Susano overall. Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, the
Are,
Wood Dragon could win, but it depends. Yeah,
okay. Are you aware that Hashirama's Wood Dragon didn't even scratch Madara Susanoo?
I mean, it's an aura. I don't know what that really means.
Did you know that the 1,000 hand Buddha peeled the Susanoo off of the Nine Tails?
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, we're talking about the Buddha statue
So,
now. Yeah. Okay.
so
Yeah,
hold on. I'm
I
making a
know. They
comparison. I'm
beat it.
making a comparison because you said like, oh, well, it's an aura, right? So it can't be scratched or something. But no, that's
No, no,
definitely
because you said it
false. Because
scratched it. I'm like, I didn't really know what that meant because it's like I've never seen a Susano just like be scuffed. That's why
okay,
it didn't make too much sense.
yeah. Sorry, you're taking it too hyper literal, right?
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah. So okay, I guess a better example was like it wasn't cracked, right? It didn't even put a crack on it.
Yeah.
Like Tsunade and them, they could like crack the rib cage or something. Um,
Mhm.
right? So when Madara was trying, like when he was actually trying, going all out, not just doo-dooing on some children, right? When he was actually trying, the Wood Dragon didn't crack the Susanoo. It didn't dent it. None of that, right? It literally just did nothing. So yes, the Susanoo would be above the Wood Dragon. Now, how much stronger do you have to be? Actually, as a matter of fact, the Susanoo didn't even flinch. So, like, yeah,
Wait, didn't flinch when what happened?
when the Wood Dragon, tried to like fight him. As a matter of fact, I think the Wood Dragon tried to do something. Madara was like, no, and then the Wood Dragon just like went away, and Hashirama tried something else. Um, so yeah, it would. I definitely think that the Susanoo is a decent bit above the half of Nine Tails. Um, like maybe you can say it's like not super quantifiable, but I definitely think it's more than you were letting on at
But
first.
but but I mean, at which point? Because it's like you said
The Wood Dragon didn't
yeah, it
scratch it.
scuffed the Wood Dragon, right? But
The Wood Dragon didn't scuff the Ninetales, the Susanoo, right? And I'm saying because this Hashirama and this Madara were around the same tier, right? And then Hashirama's ability, like his jutsu, right, didn't even scratch
uh
Madara's, right? And he had to pull out a bigger jutsu or something. That's basically what I'm getting at here. So when Madara uses the Wood Dragon, and he, if
I
anything,
just want to make sure that the battle.
didn't even hurt Madara, right, easily, and then you just say, okay, well, a Wood Dragon from a stronger person didn't do damage to a weaker person's Susanoo. Now you have
Wait, didn't that Wood Dragon? The Wood Dragon was on the full power Ninetales, right?
um
Because it wasn't just on the Susanoo.
So okay, so the Susanoo was the Ninetales was wearing the Susanoo. As a matter of fact, the Wood Dragon, Hashirama summoned the Wood Dragon in response to the Ninetales, and then Madara was like,
Mhm.
"Nope, can't touch my Ninetales," and he put the Susanoo around it. And then the Wood Dragon couldn't get through the Susanoo or even do any damage to the Susanoo in order to get to the Ninetales. Um,
Are you sure? I mean, cause I'm trying to find the scene and I'm looking at it. The only time I see a wood dragon is when it wraps around the full power nine tails. Because the other scene I'm seeing where
I
the Susanoo pops out is when he grabs the Bijou
with
Dime.
version of the fight.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Because in the manga, that's that like the manga version of the manga. The fight was longer. Basically, what he were like the Akatsuki would like blitz Madara or something.
No, no, no. I think the Kakatsuki are relative in speed to Madara. I based off the fight with the five Kage. I mean, depending on which one we're talking about. We're talking about Alive, right? We're not talking about Edo Tensei.
Nah, we're doing Edo first. Edo is fine
Okay,
first.
let's do it. Okay, Edo. If it's Edo, I think based on the fight with the five Kage, um, I think they're at least relative in speed because the five Kages are relative in speed to people like Kakashi and B.
Why?
Who because because for one, I think Kakashi was able to keep up with Deidara, and it's similar in scale with Onoki being able to keep up with Deidara as well.
Wait, no. Did you know that Onoki? Did you know that Datara Cuck literally still ran away from Onoki? He was scared. He was afraid of him.
He didn't run away. Kabuto pulled him back.
Okay, okay. That's even better, right? Kabuto, who thinks this Edo Tensei is just this unstoppable, god tier ability, right? He thinks his unstoppable Edo Tensei summon that's supposed to be so much stronger than the original, right? Is still below Onoki.
I mean, he didn't pull. I mean, he was running. He was going away. He was retreating, if I can say that. He wasn't retreating based off the fight of between Onoki and
Because he literally said the opposite, so I'm gonna need you to prove that.
let me see. Because when he was about to pull out his particle style, he was about to drop. He pulled out a bomb that he wanted to clash with it. Anytime.
I mean, doing something's better than nothing. Even like
He
if you
didn't do it out of desperation.
hold
That's
on,
what I
if
mean.
you hold on, if you pull out a gun and all I have is a rock, I'm gonna throw my rock at you. Like I don't care whether or not your gun is better than my rock. Me doing something is better than nothing. So I'm gonna throw my rock at you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's not. He wasn't doing this out of some kind of desperation. He wasn't like, "Oh, I'm trying to run away from this." Means that no. He was actually trying to fight him.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna need you to show me him being confident he can take on Inoki, because I definitely don't remember that.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, I just looked at the chat.
It's true.
Okay,
All right. Okay. I think
so
we can just skip the to that. I think if
more thing for speed though, real quick. So for any of the Akatsuki aside from two Naruto, whereas Madara as an Edo does in speed.
how do you know Edo KCM2 Naruto is?
Agree that Nagato as an Edo Tensei is above Pain.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult, but it's hard to scale from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree so far.
And okay, who do you think is faster, Itachi or Nagato?
Nagato is faster.
Right. So now I'm just gonna say that Edo Itachi's best feats are being relative to EMS Sasuke. And EMS Sasuke, right? Um, is
Wait, who's Itachi's best feats?
yeah, Itachi as an Edo, right? His best feat is being relative to EMS Sasuke. Now, how much faster than Itachi do you think Nagato is?
Hmm,
Okay, wait.
that's hard.
Let me back up.
I
Let
don't.
me back up. Let me
Yeah.
back up. Do you agree
Uh, contention with that because in his V2, contentious to say whether.
the higher the tailed version of B, the faster he'd have to be, because he has more access to Gyuki's chakra as he gets in. And as we know,
Mhm.
forms of B would inherently be faster. Now, KCM2 Naruto has directly shown to be faster than B. In the fight with the other Biju when they were amped by Obito, Naruto was clearly in KCM2. He was clearly faster, right? He was able to react to all of the Biju way easier than B was. Now that would mean that B that KCM2 Naruto would inherently be above Nagato in terms of speed. And then as we know earlier, Madara is able to tag Naruto to the point where he can pin him down, right? He had to grab him in order to pin him. So he would be
Mhm.
faster. That was the KCM2 Kurama avatar. That was Naruto in his Kurama avatar form. Do you think Kurama avatar is slower than regular KCM2?
I mean, other
So you think that
as far as the avatars are concerned.
yeah, so you think the avatar is relative to KCM2 normally in speed, right? Um Kurama avatar that Madara tag speed who we already
Word dragon though, that wasn't with his physical speed.
that doesn't matter. Can you prove that the Wood Dragon blitzes his normal speed?
I mean, it's a jutsu. It's a technique specific stuff. You can't equate it to his physical abilities
Why
though.
not? It's an ability fueled by his own chakra though. Like you'd have to prove
Yeah,
that
but
it's some sort of
it's
speed
it's kind of
increase.
like Kakashi uses like a Shidori that makes him faster to the point where he has tunnel vision. That doesn't mean that that's his default
That's a
speed.
false
Just
equivalence.
because
That's a false equivalence. Difference is that Chidori's specifically been stated to make you have tunnel vision. There's nothing like that with the Wood Dragon, right? There's no statement that like, oh
yeah,
yeah,
but
see
there's no
when I
statement
launched hold
that
on, hold
says
on,
that
hold on, hold on.
it's relative
There's
that
no
it's
launch this Wood Dragon. It's just gonna blitz you automatically. As a matter of fact, back to the fight with Madara versus Hashirama, the Wood Dragon was unable in the manga was unable to reach Madara before he could, activate his Susanoo and completely encapsulate Kurama in it, right? So if anything, the Susanoo would be faster than the Wood Dragon, right? And if the, and then since this debate, right, the whole thing is like, yeah, Madara, he's gonna use his Susanoo and he's just gonna slap everyone with the tip of the sword or something, and use any abilities that he needs to or something, right? And if that's the case, right, then this is Susanoo Madara. So the speed of the Wood Dragon is below the speed of the Susanoo, and the Susanoo,
yeah. I think yeah, I'll agree with at least be moderate speed, but I think my thing is like I think chakra works in that way.
okay, wait. Okay, wait. So you don't think that's how chakra works? So chakra, all it is your energy, right? And in a jutsu, it's just however much energy you put into that jutsu. I get for AP, it's a little bit different because you can make it stronger by you know, making the higher density. And there are a couple speedy jutsu, but on average, most jutsu have no lore to make them faster than the user, right? So why would this random jutsu that all it is, right?
Why is my energy faster than me?
Yes.
I think it's I mean I don't get the analogy. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm missing something, but
Right. So
there's
if a
I mean.
jutsu is just weaponizing your energy, right? It's just using your energy in
Mhm.
a why is your energy, right? Or the jutsu caster's energy
Mhm.
stronger than the jutsu caster?
It's not that the jutsu, the energy is stronger than the jutsu caster. It's basically that you can control it, or you control your energy faster than maybe the speed at which you move or the speed at which you punch.
So why
You know,
why would you control?
I mean, you can control it inside your body and outside your body, but it doesn't mean that translates to your physical. You controlling your energy doesn't mean that you control it at the same speed in which you move your body.
Why would
That
they be
doesn't
different?
uh, controlling your physical energy, your
Okay.
spiritual energy.
Okay, so if I, because keep in mind, chakra, physical, spiritual, and mental energy, to project my different than me using my physical, spiritual, and mental energy to project it directly forward in a straight line.
Because with your arm, because with your arm you're using your muscles, you're using different things. Hey, because I'm using spiritual, I can use chakra to walk on water. It means that I can just naturally do it because I just have chakra. I can just naturally do it without controlling chakra just because I have chakra.
Um,
But you're doing just punching.
okay,
If you
wait,
get my
so,
drift,
so why are you assuming that muscles are a hindrance?
it's not a hindrance, but you're doing bases.
So if I say that I think that using physical, spiritual, and mental energy to lower, you're inherently making the claim that muscles are a hindrance because
I
it
don't
makes
know
it
if it's a
worse.
hindrance, but
Because a hindrance is anything that you're using your muscles makes your chakra worse because you're making it slower by using your muscles.
it is not making it slower because
But
I
you
think
think,
is that
but I'm
okay,
trying to achieve speed, right? Why is me using my
okay.
fist and chakra
How
slower?
let me put it this way: like using my chakra to amp my arm, right? Would it be the same? Using my chakra to amp my arm to throw a punch and using my arm as my jab,
Roughly, yeah. If you
even
know how
though
to
they're both
throw,
powered by the same thing.
yeah, if you know how to throw a punch and you
But
know how to throw a ball, then yes.
most likely the ball. I mean, for me personally, for me, you'll move faster from your arm because
Do you know why
there are
most
other
people
factors
can
that play in.
throw a punch? Train to throw things, or just throw rocks at each other. People like stand on the other side of the street and like throw rocks as footballs, right? So they train to do that. They do it over and over and over again, and they get better at it. But they do not train to throw punches. Well, unless they were me or someone else who did martial arts throwing rocks. They train to throw footballs, so they're good at throwing footballs. They do not train to punch, so they're not good at punching. That's why, right? But in this case, if they train equally shooting out wooden dragons and punching, or actually, I'd argue most, especially Madara, right? This is an ability that he just got recently, right? Again, than he is at throwing punches, something he's been doing ever since he was like 5.
I mean, I get that, but he's not known for taijutsu fighting, so it's kind of
Are you sure
hard
about
to
that? Everyone talks about him doing
like
on the
like
entire
like
Shinobi
known like
Alliance.
known for known for taijutsu. I don't think so.
Like, literally everyone, when you bring up Madara to someone who's, like, barely seen Naruto, all they...
But I mean, like I'm just saying if he's known for it. Like for example, we know Guy is known for taijutsu. We know even his dad or even right. And Madara is not known for that. He's known for other things, right?
By
But
who?
taijutsu is not one of those things. By who?
Yeah.
You mean Madara or
Yeah,
who?
like, who
Or
do you
who are
think,
you talking
who
about?
are you talking about knows Madara for everything except Taijutsu?
I mean, for mostly for his fight with Hashirama, but taijutsu is not one of the things mentioned when referring to Madara. As most
Of Madara's fight with Hashirama, and why people like Kakashi and Itachi bring up the Genjutsu more than the Taijutsu? Because
because
because they're
Madara is kind of like the only person who has used it to the.
need a Mangekyo Sharingan in order
Mhm.
so it was narratively important to explain that, right? Madara himself, uh, does like in the series, right? Because I was talking about like he fights good, right? He punches good. He's big. I think using the what people say about him inverse is like could be slightly misleading, because like if you ask anyone like, oh yeah, that's not the only thing he does. That's not even his. Arguably, I'd argue that Naruto uses taijutsu more than clones. Now, before usually it's punch someone or kick
I
someone. No, but usually whenever he has his clones fight someone, he usually right one hit with each arm, one hit with each leg. It threw 4 taijutsu strikes per clone. So he did 2,000 clones, but 8,000 taijutsu strikes. So stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
right? So like Madara in his fights with Hashirama, he has to punch and kick Hashirama in order to create space to summon the Nine Tails. He has to like punch Madara after he desummons the Nine Tails, right? After the Susanoo after the Susanoo disappears, right? He still has to punch and kick
Mm-hmm.
Hashirama. And Madara was a kid. What about before he had the Susanoo? What about, way back in the day when he only knew like fire style and shuriken jutsu and punching and kicking, right?
Yeah, but here's my thing with Madra. Even Madra himself, when he looks at Guy, he even said at his stage in time that people who use taijutsu like that were pretty much not were pretty much outdated, right? So he didn't even look at taijutsu as a thing as something to be noteworthy, not until he met Guy.
Hold on. You first of all, Guy. It's not just that Guy was using taijutsu. It's that Guy could only use taijutsu, as in nothing else. I'm not claiming that Madara only uses taijutsu. I'm just saying that his taijutsu is good enough that it's not like slower than his wooden dragon, which is an ability he's only used once in ever. Like that's an ability he's only used once. I'm arguing that because he's good at taijutsu enough to like body the Shinobi Alliance and pretty much pure hand-to-hand combat, you know, and back as a kid, he would throw rocks and punches and shuriken, and that was all he did. I'm arguing that because of that, he would have enough taijutsu skill and knowledge in order to have fast and taijutsu relative in speed, if not once in his whole entire life. If that makes
With versus the Kages then. And
okay,
even slower versus other people as well.
right. Well, okay.
Especially
Well,
when it came to the Shinobi Alliance.
you answered your own
Because
question. Madara is inconsistent because he likes to hold back.
how would you tell he's holding back? Because he gets surprised multiple times inside that five Kage fight.
Sure. Did you
Like
ever?
especially in the moment where they got him inside they tried to seal him before the perfect Susano.
Did you
Being
notice
serious.
how Madara was reacting to A normally, and then Onoki like amped him, and then he got surprised and was like, "Oh crap!" He got way faster, and then like 2 minutes later, he was just magically relative to A again, even though this A is faster. There's times like
Wait,
that.
who's A?
A,
Wait,
the
who's
fourth
A?
Raikage, the fourth Raikage.
Oh, he got hit two times. Well, no, even in fact three times by the Raikage. Throughout the entire fight, and all of those times
The times was when he was surprised, right? Um,
you're still holding back. Like
it
what?
depends the type of
One, two,
person you
three
are. What are
times.
the risks? Hold on, it depends. What type of person are you? What are the risks? We know Hashirama's the type. I mean, not Hashirama. Madara's the type of person that likes pain, right? He got like stabbed by the
Uh-huh.
Biju, and he was like, "Yes, pain, delicious," and he like licked his wounds and stuff like a weirdo, right? So he likes pain,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not hurting him consequences. Also, we know that even if he like case in point, Eight Gates guy, he was like, "Yeah, I declare you the strongest," and he didn't try and run away from Eight Gates guy's final move. Whereas against Naruto, he was like, "Oh crap, let me run away." When Naruto was using the lava Rasen Shuriken, right? So we know that if Madara doesn't view a significant threat, even if it will damage him. If he doesn't like fear for his life, he doesn't care if he gets hit, right? Get hit by Gaara's pellets after he got brought back to life, right? The thing that Shikaku made the wind and Gaara put sand in it, and he just blocked it. He just sort of stood
Mm-hmm.
there and tried to block it, and it penetrated his skin and paralyzed him. And he was like, "Oh, see Daisy, like I didn't mean to get paralyzed there."
In those kind of circumstances, right? When he's already like you could say that argument when he's just met the person, he doesn't know their abilities, full speed, right? Because they were all fighting at their max even then. So you know this person's speed, so it's hard for me to believe that you'd be surprised two more times or three times or two more times after the fact once you've already assessed the situation appropriately.
You're
Because
also
that's my
forgetting
thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're also
I'm also forgetting
forgetting
what.
the fact that they were using different combos each time. It's not like they were throwing, jab cross hook every time, right? Like jab cross hook key blast or something, right? They weren't just spamming the same combos. They were doing other things like, oh, well, I'm
Mhm.
gonna rush you from this side, he's gonna rush you from that side, and then I'm gonna bury you with sand. Oh, well, that didn't work. Okay, well, let me bring the sand from like above, and
But,
then I'm gonna
but that's my thing
molecularly
though.
atomize you, right? They're using
Like
different
like
combos.
like from your yeah, but from your assessment, right? He's supposedly so astronomically faster than the Kages that shouldn't even matter, right? At that point when he's already known what speed is concerned, from your assessment
If
of
he's
things,
going all out, but I
right?
already demonstrated that he's the type of person that lets himself get hit. Like I brought up Eight Gates Guy, I brought up Gara later on actually. Gara later on hit him, and he was like, "Oh crap, I should have moved faster. I'm gonna stop underestimating you guys." He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe from now on." Berg, Madara's a Spurg.
It's true, but if he could do that, then why didn't he do that like with the fight? Because he didn't the first time with Tsunade, right? He substituted himself with a wood clone and then came out of that, right, to defend himself. But in those last stages of the battle, he just sat there and still took it. He didn't have time to substitute or anything
You're
else.
presupposing he didn't
The thing
have
is that
time.
that speed.
It was just more fun. He just thought it was more fun.
Seems weird. Anyway,
I'm
I'll accept that. Okay. Your assessment. He's KCM two levels of speed, and so do you think people who are KCM one levels of speed can't contend with people who are KCM two levels of speed?
not even close. Why?
Really?
Yeah, why you may faster than him? Like a lot of people don't seem to realize this, but when the Biju were like hitting Naruto in their little like combo assault thingy, they were going like one at a time, and Naruto wasn't able to react. He got hit by every last one of them. Whereas in KCM 2, he
Mm,
was able to react to all of them, easily, like no difficulty.
I mean, he was able to react. I mean, you could say he had more trouble, right?
I mean, he got
He was
tagged. Okay,
reacting. He was
okay.
fighting.
He was able to say, "Oh my god," that was my point.
I mean, from what I saw, he was catching their blows, he was catching their punches. He even tossed the bug one.
The
He
bug
caught the bug one and tossed it away as well. So it's not like
in KCM one.
it's not like
Wait, can you show me
yeah,
that?
KCM one.
Clear.
Yeah, in
Not
their
base.
V2, like in their full QB form, right? Their full QB form,
Okay, can you show me
right?
that?
That's what you're talking about.
Because KCM one Naruto was relative to them, and I think he was. KCM two Blitz
Okay, so how
should be faster than Eight Tails B, like we went over earlier.
is six tails be relative?
Yeah, B has nothing to KCM two. Period.
How about we move to Haxes then?
Okay,
Because I don't know, it's getting a little bit late. Yeah, let's move to Haxes. Um, so I believe in
he didn't die, but the point is So there's no like times of him getting stabbed. As a matter of fact, the only thing we really have is the Chidori, and he did get stabbed from that. So if we're going off
I
of
mean,
like,
it did penetrate him, or did master the Jinchuriki state?
okay, he
Because
he
in
had
the past,
mastered
you could
it.
say he was stronger, but
Okay, wait, he mastered it at least in Minato's Jonin days, which is 16 years before the war. And if B implies that he only in the show
like yeah, when he's first introduced,
between when he first shows up and when
a few yeah, there's
it
a
was
good time
it
period
was a
passed
few months. It
before
was a
he
few
actually meets
months.
Naruto and does all that stuff.
Yeah, it was a few
Yeah.
months. They're 15 whole entire years.
I mean, okay. I mean, I'll concede to that part, but there's also the idea of the third Raikage.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the third right, the thing about
okay, I guess so. But the other Akatsuki members can break them out of it. So it's not like
yeah, but it's 26 Madaras and only like 13 Akatsuki members. So, yeah. So there's more Madaras to Genjutsu them than it is for Akatsuki members to break them out of it.
also it can't just Pain just give them rods. The
I
stuff will just
mean,
break them out. So yeah.
I mean, potentially, but then there's nothing stopping Madara from genjutsuing them again. Like Pain can give them
I mean,
rods
they just have
once.
to hold the rods, right? And it'll just disrupt their chakra. I mean, that's the crux of it. Just to disrupt your chakra, then you get out of it.
I mean, what's stopping Madara from genjutsuing everyone except for Pain and them at the same time? And then since Pain is
I mean,
literally
also,
just hold on, Pain is literally just Madara but worse. All he'll do is literally anything Nagato tries to do, um Madara will just do and it'll work cuz he's stronger and faster. And basically the same thing with Itachi. Like Itachi is Genjutsu negged because superior dojutsu. Amaterasu just gets absorbed because Rinnegan. Every like Susanoo absorbed because Rinnegan. Also stronger Susanoo. And then everything else is like, well, okay, you have fire style. Okay, well, so does Madara. You have basic Genjutsu. So does Madara. Actually, um, Madara might actually be better because it's gonna be two Madaras against Itachi. But anyway, um, actually, technically, if we're counting like, okay, so if we're saying there's 13 Akatsuki members counting all the clones, then
mhm.
Itachi's one clone gets two Madara clones, and then Madara also gets, then there's a Madara clone and another Madara clone, or I guess the real Madara for Itachi. So, funnily enough, even with his clone, Itachi's still outnumbered against someone with a stronger Susanoo and can absorb his Susanoo and has better fire style.
I can see that, but but he's not going to be able to absorb stuff. I mean, because he can still use his Amaterasu, right? Or the Susanoo, because he can absorb stuff while using the Susanoo. That's one thing.
I mean, what's stopping him from like deactivating? Like, here's the thing: either if Itachi uses a Matarasu and Madara's in his Susanoo, then it's not the Matarasu isn't gonna do anything anyway. But if
He's
you
not going to
think
burn through the Susanoo.
no, why would it burn through the Susanoo? Susanoo has never been shown to just burn with fire style. Like
Didn't,
acid,
didn't,
yeah,
didn't Sasuke put Amaterasu on his Susanoo bones? If I remember correctly.
maybe on it, but not through it. Like that's what I'm getting at. Like if it hit the Susanoo, it would just like
Because
just
my thing's like, it's not only because remember, like the Mitsukage's acid was able to get through Madara Susanoo.
sure, but acid has different properties than fire.
It's not harder though,
It doesn't matter. Acid
right?
doesn't burn through
I
things
mean,
because it's hot. Acid doesn't burn through because it's hot. It burns through because it literally eats the substance.
okay. I mean, yeah, okay, I'll concede to that. Yeah, but personally, I'm not seeing Itachi going to anywhere in this fight anyway. So I think okay because my the powerhouses I'm looking at is Pain, sorry, it's Nagato, is Deidara, it's who is Nagato, Deidara,
Kisame.
um, yeah, Kisame, um, let's see, Toby is one of them, and because I'm looking at Kakuzu too, not necessarily because Kakuzu is not necessarily because Kakuzu can resist is the strongest, but mostly because he has his earth style, which makes him invulnerable too.
Okay, so
So
I'm gonna go after Kakuzu and Datara first. So Kakuzu, I mean, he just he just dies. Like literally, all he has to do is get
can Madara
Genjutsu.
get through his earth style
Yeah,
defense?
yeah, with Genjutsu. All he has to
It's
do is
invulnerable
hold
though.
on. All he has to do is Genjutsu him, and then he falls asleep, and then he just like stabs him through the heart or something when he's
I think
offline.
we established with the chakra rods though that that's not gonna happen.
That's only if the Chakras get to them. I'm arguing under a circumstance where all of the Akatsuki members, except for Pain and Itachi and I guess Toby, get Genjutsu'd all at the same time, and then stabbed, and like at the same like he literally it happens like this: Genjutsu stab, and then it's now all of the Madaras against against Itachi, against Pain, and against Toby. Like literally everyone else gets Genjutsus and stabbed. Like there's nothing they can do about it. By the way, can you prove Kisame can resist Genjutsu? Because I don't think he can.
I mean, this Genjutsu. Did he bite his tongue off just to get out of a mind reading stuff?
Sort of. That happened when the guy was trying to enter his mind to get like intel, but that's not
Yeah.
nowhere near the same thing as Madara's Genjutsu that he can use to put you to sleep. You can't bite your tongue off if you're asleep.
But he was asleep. He was unconscious though. He was
No,
unconscious.
no,
He
no.
bit his tongue off. That's how he woke up.
No, he was unconscious, but then he woke up and he bit his tongue off and then broke out of the little confinement thingies, and then
Hmm.
he like tried to get it. Well, he killed himself after that. I was gonna say he tried to get away, but I don't know if you consider that what that is.
No, no. I mean, I consider that he at least he's shown that he can resist it. Maybe not, instantly. It's not like an instant
Okay,
revive,
okay.
I
Let me
guess.
let me
Maybe not,
reword
but
this.
yeah.
Let me reword this. Even if you say it was mind hacks, that's only normal mind hacks, right? That's just normal genjutsu. Sharingan genjutsu, like, is stated to be a layer above that. Even if you're immune to genjutsu, Sharingan genjutsu still works on you. And even if you're immune to that, Mangekyo Sharingan genjutsu still works on you. And even if you're resistant to that, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan genjutsu will work on you. So it's like multiple layers above normal genjutsu.
What's the difference? Because I know this infinite Tsukuyomi, right? But that is a technique specific stuff to
Yeah,
Itachi. It's not a given,
because
right?
look, so it was stated that even if you have genjutsu actually, it was, let me see. It was stated that, who was that? I think it was Kurenai had a resistance to genjutsu, right? And Itachi's Sharingan overpowered it, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
so it bypasses genjutsu immunity. And then most like Uchiha are immune to Sharingan based genjutsu with their own Sharingan, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
if you have a Mangekyo Sharingan, you're considered a god among the Uchiha, right? You can just body anyone, right? Um, with your superior genjutsu and everything else that comes with the Mangekyo. And then
Mm-hmm.
EMS is basically just the EMS but stronger, right? More potent genjutsu. Um, so yeah, those are the layers and how that works.
Okay. And how's Madara gonna deal with Sasori's gas?
Sasori's gas, he doesn't have to breathe, like unironically. Like There's nothing he's gonna like. He doesn't have to breathe.
I
He's an Edo
mean,
Tensei.
he doesn't need to because like Hanzo kind of got paralyzed from a gas attack
As an Edo Tensei,
as an Edo Tensei.
can you provide that scan? Is that in the manga?
Is in the anime as well. Let me see. It's at the end of the Mifune fight. He like stabs himself, and there's some kind of gas poison that comes out, and Kabuto is trying to make him fight, but he's paralyzed.
Okay. Also, what's stopping him from just holding his breath? What's stopping him from fanning it away with his giant Susanoo? What's stopping him
Because
from going
because
in
my thing
his
is it's not
Susanoo?
about just holding your breath. It's still gonna get in your system, and the thing is that it eats away at your cells as well. So it's not like
Sure, what's stopping him from going in his giant Susanoo, which puts him like 50 feet in the air?
I mean he could do that, but I think didn't we establish already? Okay, yeah, we're going around in circles inside that part, but yeah, but gas can get into the Susano, right? Sand can get into the Susano.
That's only the like the rib cage and like the layers with the Susanoo without legs. I'm arguing like the bigger ones, the ones that have like legs and stuff.
Mm. But yeah, I mean, I can see an argument. Yeah, I can see that argument for that. Yeah, I don't think the gas is going to enter in that stage. I think it's when Madara is probably exposed that the gas could affect him. But we kind of show that.
Yeah, but also I think Madara's jutsu would just hit first anyway because he's faster. So before anyone could do anything, they would all be under Genjutsu, except for again the ones that are immune to Genjutsu. But everyone else would just be under Genjutsu and stabbed instantaneously. And then for Pain, he literally just gets out Rinneganed. Like that. That's literally how that's gonna work. He's just gonna try and use his Rinnegan hacks, and then it's just not gonna work.
I mean, sure, but you could say Pain has more experience than Madara when it comes to Rinnegan, right?
Um,
Because
sure,
that
but I don't think that
because
matters
because
whatsoever.
I think because the thing about it is like Madara can't use abilities to the same affinity that Nagato does, right? Like Nagato can use all the paths at once, right? He can absorb, do all the mighty push, and all the treat, all the paths basically at
Well,
once. I don't Madara can't do that.
I don't know that we should say he specifically can't just because he hasn't shown it. Like he was literally holding back for almost the entire time he was on screen. So I think that's a little bit weird to say he like definitely can't. Um, Especially considering that he was pretty confident in his Rinnegan abilities. Whenever he had to use them, he pretty much just did, with a couple
Yeah, but
exceptions,
but the
obviously.
thing is that he didn't have enough experience with them. Like we're talking about a dude who just got his Rinnegan before he died. Like,
I mean, even then, I still don't think it matters because Nagato's outnumbered.
oh wait, okay, because okay.
Okay, think
So
of it.
wait,
Think.
just I posted a video anyway for the poison thing, but because now it just comes down to the the full power Susanos. Like, but those guys are Kage level, right? They can be damaged. At least they can be pushed back or damaged by Kage level strength, right?
Um, the stronger ones, yeah. Mei didn't do anything to them. Gara didn't really do anything to them
I mean, he
either.
he blocked he blocked the hit from Gara blocked the hit from them.
I mean,
Like he
yeah, but
blocked the
Gara
punch. He
blocks
got
hits from everyone. Like, come on.
yeah. Okay, yeah, but that's my thing. Like the strength is kind of comparable, so it's not like
Hold on,
it's not as if
no, 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 no.
why
Gara,
wait. Because what I'm saying is like right, Datara, like Gara and Datara. I don't say they're relative because there's some iffy stuff about their fight, but they are close to the point where you could say Datara or anybody around his level can perform the same way he did, like the way Gara did, the way Onoki did, or you could say, and Pain is probably even stronger since he hold back like eight of nine of half of the nine tails. But it's like you could say he could just beat his own share and join the others based off that. I mean, like Pain
Guess
has no
what?
problem, and I don't think the others are in
Guess
that
what?
bad of a predicament where they're not going to be able to hold back those Susanos.
Guess what?
Like, I don't think that. Yeah, what?
So, so you remember how Datara fought Gara?
Yep.
Did you know that Gara ended up getting stronger after his fight with Datara?
I mean, without the Bijou, he's was stronger than the Bijou.
Yes.
Where does it stay that? Stay that?
So, do you remember Gara's fight with his dad?
Okay, yeah.
So, during Gara's fight with his dad, at first he was like, yo, this is Shikaku. Just from a casual, just nothing attack from Gara. And then after they fought, Gara ended up beating his dad. Now keep in mind, his dad's like entire shtick was that he used to just cuck Shikaku constantly with his gold dust. But Gara just beat him in like 5 minutes flat while having a conversation with him. And he didn't even break a sweat, by the way. Like, that was no difficulty.
Okay. I mean, then we have Deidara, who's standing up to Deidara, who stood up to Sasuke,
Stood up
like
to
the carry.
Sasuke, you mean like
Yeah,
the one who, like, his only feat is, like, killing a crippled Orochimaru, and
uh,
that one who was
taking
literally
on
coughing up
Itachi,
blood?
then taking on Killer B afterwards.
Sure, yeah,
Taking out the five Kages as well. I mean,
hold on,
he
hold
didn't
on,
do that
hold
well, but
on,
yeah,
hold on, he took on, hold on,
took
the,
on
hold on,
Danzo.
hold on, hold
Danzo,
on,
yeah,
wait,
took
wait,
on
wait.
Danzo, yeah.
No, the Sasuke that fought Datara was the one who only had a Sharingan and his curse mark, which is the same one that fought Itachi. After that, he got his Mangekyo Sharingan before he fought the five Kage, right? So it wasn't the same. And when he fought B, he had a Mangekyo Sharingan, right? So all of those other
Mhm.
feats are with Mangekyo Sharingan, not base
So
Sharingan.
does Mangekyo Sharingan amp any physical feats?
Yes, it does.
Any
It's stated
physical
to be a
attributes?
several times. It's just stated to be a several times boost onto base. And if you don't know, several is at least 3 times.
Where is that stated?
The several times amp thing.
Yeah, from a Mangekyo Sharingan.
Yeah, it's stated in one of the novels.
Okay, maybe that's why I didn't see it. Okay, all right then. Okay, I'll accept that part then. Uh, all right.
Yeah.
So how about but Data is not gonna get into a Genjutsu though.
Why?
He's trained his right eye to resist Genjutsu.
Yeah, but I've already established that Mangekyo Sharingan Genjutsu work on people who have resistances to normal Sharingan Genjutsu.
No, but I'm saying like he trained his eye to specifically resist Genjutsu from Itachi.
Prove he knew about the
What?
Mangekyo Sharingan.
Mm, I don't think he knew specifically about Mangekyo Sharingan.
Right, so it was
Yeah.
mostly just him training for base Sharingan, not Mangekyo.
Okay, all right then. Then I guess now it comes down to, let's see, Toby, Toby,
Okay, he's just
Toby Payne, and it was Toby Payne and Itachi.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So Toby, let's get him out of the way because he's
No,
just
no,
annoying.
Toby Payne and Kisame, not Itachi.
Yeah, Toby,
Kisame, yeah.
Pain, Kisame. So Toby, um, he's just gonna get destroyed by like okay.
I
So
don't, yeah, he's not
so
gonna. I don't think he's gonna get touched, basically. But
yeah, I get you.
whatever.
So he has to materialize every time he he like has to suck you into Kamui. Or alright, so because I've already established that there's 26 Madaras running around the battlefield, if he
Mhm.
Kamui's one away, there's a hold on, let me do the calculation. Hold on. Hold on. there's only a 3% chance that any of the Madaras that get Kamui'd away is gonna be the real one. So that means that there's a 97% chance that the one he Kamui's away is gonna be a fake. It's gonna be a clone. And when he Kamui's away that clone, when he goes to phase through anything else, that clone's gonna nuke him. Any of his body that he sends to Kamui gets exploded, and he dies.
Wait, why? Why would they explode?
Wait, you don't know the way Kamui works? It sends the parts that you like phase through in like normal reality. It goes to his pocket dimension. So if
Mm-hmm.
Madara's in like one of his clones is in that pocket dimension, and
Mm-hmm.
Obito's not on guard because he's not expecting to get exploded from the inside, and Madara shoots a Susanoo sword attack at Obito's insides. He's not
Mm-hmm.
he's not like okay, normal Rasengan from Naruto, KCM. I believe that was KCM 1. I don't even think it was KCM 2. But if it was KCM 2, it doesn't change much. So normal base Rasengan from KCM Naruto blows up his insides. What do you think's gonna happen with a giant Susanoo attack from Madara?
Mm, I mean, I can see that. But for the most part, I don't think he does stuff like that. I think he just goes for the original, right? He would just go
I
to
mean,
the
he
original and
tried
suck
to
you
go.
into that dimension.
Hold on. He tried to go for the original, but how would he know which one is the original? Again, there's a 97% chance, just with the sheer amount of Madaras, that the one he tries to come with is gonna be
Can
fake.
they tell? Because I remember Madara could tell when
Madara,
Hashirama had yeah, Hashirama used wood clones to fight Madara,
yeah,
he could
Madara
tell
could
that
tell.
was a wood clone,
Yeah,
right?
Madara could
Why
tell. That's
couldn't
because he fought Hashirama a gajillion times. Obito has never fought Madara before, or anyone who can use wood clones for that matter.
he's seen Madara, right? So
That doesn't matter.
he why?
Do you
Because he
think
knows the
do you
original.
think Toby Rama could tell which one was the real one? Can you prove that? Do you think that Izuna Uchiha or whatever Madara's brother was could tell which Toby Rama was the real Toby Rama? I don't think so.
All right, okay. So I see that. So I guess he'll just
So for Kisame, all he has to do is blow him up from behind. So again, two Madaras versus or
blow him up from behind.
yeah, so it's two Madaras fighting Kisame, one Madara's fighting him,
But
and the
the
other
chakra
one,
attacks don't work on him.
sure. Okay, so he just genjutsus him and stabs him while he's asleep. Because, people can use genjutsu to make people fall asleep. So, yeah, that's just what's gonna happen.
Okay, I mean, I guess we. Okay, fine, but I think the whole chakra disrupting thing is just gonna make Genjutsu a non-factor for
Alright,
him.
let's go over pain then. Let's go over pain. Because that's the crutch of
Yeah.
most of your arguments of the other guys. So, let's go over pain.
Okay, so Pain is the guy who's probably just gonna have the power advantage over, and I think he has some of the main hexes that could help. He, I don't know about this thing about out absorbing pain. Uh, he could do it, but it doesn't make too much sense to me.
Mm,
Um, so and also I don't know what his range for it is, how his range would work. Like if he was a full body Susanoo, would he be able to stop the Diva Path from his position from absorbing the Susanoo? And also he can't use the Susanoo while using Rinnegan ability, so he's gonna have to turn that off in order to do it as well.
sure.
So
Sure. So, say Madara is just like throwing hands with pain in raw taijutsu. Something pain doesn't really do taijutsu, but Madara has, right?
and this is Pain, right? Not Nagato.
It doesn't matter. I really it doesn't bother me either way. Which one would you
All
prefer?
right. I would prefer Nagato for now, so to make it more simple.
Okay, sure. So Nagato. Now, now they're throwing hands, and then Madara tries to hit him with the fireball jutsu or something, and his clone is behind Nagato or something, and then his clone stabs him in the back.
Okay.
What's Nagato gonna
Doesn't
do?
it just absorb it?
How do
Just
you?
absorbs it, right?
No, I mean like with the normal sword.
The clone stabs him, right?
Mm,
So he just absorbs the chakra out of the clone.
what? No. Wait. Okay. Wait.
Yeah,
Wait. So okay. So you think he's gonna absorb the chakra out of the clone
yeah,
while it has a sword in his back?
yeah. And it's gonna regen him the same way it did when B hit
Wait. Wait.
him
Wait.
with the six tails.
Oh, wait. So you'd have to prove that he can regen like sword stab wounds. That's not the same as like getting your legs back.
I mean, it's not just he regen from
Like
the Amaterasu, then he regen
he.
from B hitting him with
Hold on. That was
the
Edo.
six tail.
That was Edo Ten. That was because he was Edo Tensei. That had nothing. Like when the only thing he actually regened. Like okay. I'm assuming you mean okay. So it's not just like Prime Alive Nagato. It's like Edo Nagato. Is that what we're saying?
Uh, but this one's Prime Alive, but it should heal him, right? Wait,
No.
no, wait.
It'll.
Let me think first. Let me think first. Um, mm, hmm, should they heal him? No. Okay, yeah. I don't think it should heal him. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah.
since he's alive, I don't think it should heal him.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and and
but
even
it
if it.
should make him. But it should make him stronger though.
Yeah, but he's still
Because
bleeding
here's
out.
the
He's gonna
thing.
die
He
anyway.
became because here's the thing. If it was a fact that he wasn't he wasn't healing or getting stronger from the actual chakra itself, I don't think he would have gotten that red hair form. It would have just stayed the same.
No.
It
I'm
was
not
just
well, I'm
absorption.
not arguing that he didn't get stronger from it. I'm just saying like I don't think it healed from a stab wound or a Matarasu, right? It healed his legs, that's fine, and his hair, and it made him look like he wasn't old and like 1,000 anymore. But it didn't heal him from being stabbed or burned alive, right? Also, Madara can use the soul stealing ability, and because he's stronger than Nagato, it would just work. He would just
But when
yank
they
it out.
just don't, I think they'll just have a tug of war by then because it's like Nagato can do the same thing.
I mean, yeah, but Madara's stronger.
Okay, I guess you could go with that. Because you say what Madara is like because uh, because we established like even a fatigued pain can hold an eight tails, nine tails, right?
Yeah, the eight-tailed version to nine-tails. Yeah.
Yeah, eight tails version, two nine tails. So wouldn't a full power be able to like be around that same level? I mean, he was able to take on KCM1 and Six Tails B like with no apparent with low diff really.
Yeah, but Madara. Okay, look, Edo Madara was able to react to KCM2 Naruto, um, just normally, and was able to like fight him. And actually, I think he was stronger than KCM2 Naruto. As a matter of fact, um, actually, yeah, he should have been. Um, let's see. Yeah, he was stronger than KCM2 Naruto and faster, right? Um, so yeah, and then KCM2 Naruto stronger than KCM1 Naruto, obviously. So
Mhm.
yeah, Madara would just outstrength and outspeed.
We got because I'm kind of like seeing them at the same level because he was kind of messy. He was kind of just low diffing KCM1 Naruto and B, right?
Yeah,
And
but
we know
Madara.
pain can hold an eight like a fatigued pain can hold
Let me put it
like an
this
eight
way.
tails, nine tails.
Let me put it this way. Pain molested a KCM1 Naruto in Killer B. Madara molested KCM2 Naruto, along with Killer full Yuki mode B. I remember that scene because Obito got like him and that's when him and Kakashi started fighting. That's when they went into the comedy dimension. So it was
I don't
Eight
know.
Tails B.
I don't know if he low diff them. I know he absorbed the chakra, but even after that, KCM2 Naruto was able to block his blade. He blocked like a punch. He blocked like a Susanoo punch from was it a Susanoo slash? But he blocked a hit from
Yeah,
Susanoo Madara.
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
but by
think.
that logic, KCM1 Naruto stopped his soul from getting yanked out, so Pain didn't no diff him either.
Yeah, well, he was in the process, but
just
I guess you could say
because
that, but
just because
he
you
wasn't
blocks.
contending. He
Uh,
wasn't contending. It wasn't even like as though he was fast enough to dodge or react. Like he wasn't doing the same things he was doing versus those other tail beasts, right? It was like it was more like a blitz. Like it happened almost so fast that he couldn't
I mean,
react.
yeah, but same
Only
goes
the
for
only
Madara. Also, it was so bad that Madara, Naruto, like, okay, so let me see if I can remember the order of events as close to how they happened as possible. So, um, Kakashi Kamui's in Naruto with a super mini tailed beast bomb. Madara reacts at point blank range, deflects it with this fan. Here comes B. Madara, like, I don't know what he does. He gets rid of B with negative difficulty. And then Naruto tries some more shenanigans and nothing works. He blocks like one attack, but overall gets be gone thoughted. That was pretty much the fight.
when did he get begun taught it?
Somewhere towards the end of that exchange, freaking, he was trying to fight Madara, and it just didn't work. Like Madara just flicked him away, basically. Not literally, but like basically.
I mean, you mean Eight Tails? Because wait, he flicked away Naruto.
Yeah, he like destroyed him. Like he kicked him or something. I forgot the exact move. I think it was a kick, and Naruto just like flew away, basically. Like he just
Oh, you're
lost
talking
control.
about when he was alive,
No,
right?
no, no. When he was standing on top of the Ten Tails, it was him and Obito, and they were just
Uh
standing
huh.
on top of the Ten Tails, like testing it out. And
Mhm.
Kakashi Kamui'd away Obito, and Naruto and Gyuki were just there fighting Edo Tensei Madara. Cause keep in mind, Obito didn't
So
revive Madara.
why he was it Ten Tails?
They were just standing on top of the Ten Tails. Cause remember, Obito and Madara just stood there flexing the Ten Tails power for like an
Yeah, they
hour.
were flexing the Ten Tails power. Then I remember Naruto coming from the sky. Naruto and Kakashi coming from the sky. Eight Tails was there, and he shot a Bijudama. It got flicked back at him. Naruto got tailed whipped or something.
Yeah,
But it ended up being a clone. But
yeah, but
yeah,
in any case, Naruto still got destroyed. So yeah.
that was in KCM too, though. That was just a normal Naruto.
I'm pretty sure it was KCM too.
No, it was a normal Naruto. Because
Can you prove it was normal
Naruto,
Naruto?
not Naruto, because Naruto ran out of chakra. Naruto, no, Naruto went out of his KCM one mode in order to, I think it was because he tried to access Sage mode as in his base form, and that's when he saw the tail beast didn't have any power, and they made this entire plan. Let me try and find the scene and put it for you.
All right,
Because I remember Naruto was falling from the sky. He didn't have KCM 2 on him.
all right. When you find that, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so I sent the video and timestamped it. So
Alright, cool. I'm
yeah,
back.
I don't- yeah. So the KCM2 was active, but he wasn't the one that got flicked. It was a clone that wasn't in KCM2 mode.
Okay, hold on. 207. Let's see. Kamui. There was Naruto and Sage mode. Okay, yeah, that was okay. The BG bomb got flicked. Okay. Boom. He got tail smacked. Naruto runs away.
Because he's about to run out of he's about to get out of the mode. He's about to run out of chakra.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I know what part this is about to be. Hold on. Let's see. I think the Ten Tails Cataclysm is after this.
Yeah, that comes a little bit later on. That has to be like it's like has to be like directly before Obito and Kakashi go into the other dimension.
Yeah, okay. So, either way, I'm just gonna argue it doesn't matter because there's still other stuff like that, right? Cause where's the fan thing? Where's the fan thing? Hold on, cause I was trying
But
to
okay,
find the.
the fan thing is before that. I think it's way like let me see.
Yeah, cause the scene I was talking about, it had to do with like Madara's fan. He had like doo on him with the fan. Um, but okay, so I'm all right. So I guess forget AP. I'm just gonna argue that that Madara is just gonna soul steal Nagato before Nagato knows what happened. He's gonna speed blitz him.
Yeah, but that's my thing. It's still gonna come back down to power now. Because now we have to because the thing is that at that point we have to define whether they're equal enough to the point where it doesn't truly matter, you know, or that now or whether Madara can just swipe his soul like that because there would have to be a tug of war.
Okay, hold on.
It,
Hold
it,
on.
it comes down to power either way.
All right, give me a
That's the
sec.
whole
I'm
thing.
trying to think of an argument to end this in 4 minutes.
Okay,
um,
we can just give our conclusions. I think overall you won most of the arguments, so I don't think there's too much. Like even if Nagato really was equal at this point, I don't think that really
yeah,
contradicts certain aspects the way any some aspects of the battle.
yeah.
Like
So
for the most part, most of the Akatsuki's, they probably would most likely kind of die or fail or whatnot.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think for me personally, as a conclusion, I feel like it's more circumstantial. I think given the right scenario, they could land. They could use their hacks, land a hit, and end Madara, but it's likely going to be high diff because of the physical and speed advantage he has on them, and the clones themselves. Although I think with good teamwork they can survive that, but you know.
Mm. Yeah, I was mostly just trying to argue that like as long as Madara's like actually just paying attention and like trying to murder them, more
Mm-hmm.
often than not he would. Um but like again, if he does the thing with the Kage and he's just like haha children XD, like he could die potentially, but like
Mm-hmm.
if he tries to go full big power mode and um just do his hacks like Genjutsu, Susanoo, GG, that sort of thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the Rinnegan abilities too are a pretty big deal. Because he'd like out Rinnegan, most of the members, even like Pain
Mm-hmm.
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
All
I
right.
think that was a good discussion.
It was a good discussion. Sorry it took so long. I know because I didn't want it to take this long, but I kind of figured since we had to go through a lot of characters in order to get to end it properly.
Yeah,
But
no, it's
yeah.
fine. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The only issue is I have something to do tomorrow. Um,
Oh no problem. I'm sorry about that.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
you should.
fine. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you go. So yeah. Thanks for having me, and hopefully we can have discussions like this again.
Heck yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. By the way, I appreciate you. By the way, this is also for the people who are watching the stream on recording, because I think everyone left because it's 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah, cheer him in the more. Yeah.
Yeah, but for everyone who doesn't know, this golden man here let me use one of his fight scenes for an upcoming matchup I have planned. It's gonna be Naruto versus Meliodas. I'm gonna do all the power scaling and stuff. Me and I recruited a new researcher. I'll give him a shout out on the day of the video though, just in case he flakes out, you know. But yeah, so thank you for giving me the fight scene. Thank everyone else for watching. Do you have any other final words before I end off?
No, it's like no, I think it's cool for now. I think again, I want to say thank you for having me, and yeah, and if there's any requests I'll have is like if there's any like if you get any time to do anything about like Naruto movie characters, just go ahead. I think there's like they have good potential for good videos, in my opinion. But who am I to tell you what to do? I guess so. I mean, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, I'll make some videos on movie characters. That sounds good. All right, I'm a mutant deafen while I end this off.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you for watching so much. If you stuck around to the very end, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And join my servers. Link in the description. The Cool Geek out. Bye.